What if your greatest struggle became your greatest testimony? What if the storm you're refacing right now is actually the prelude to a sunrise yukua? On yet imagine. Welcome to a journey of unshakable faith, where we explore the moments when God turns impossibility into triumph. We all face battles, some visible, some hidden deep within. But through it all, there is a thread of hope that connects us, a promise that we are never truly alone in our fight. Today, we're not just telling stories, we're sharing life-altering testimonies. Why? Because a testimony is more than just an account of what happened. It's a beacon of light in someone else's darkness. It's the proof that says, if God did it for me, He can do it for you. Testimonies ignite hope. They remind us we're not alone in our struggles, and they reveal God's hand at work in situations that seem utterly impossible. They are the living, breathing evidence of His faithfulness. So, let's begin. Our first story is about Sarah. For her, the world went dark when she lost her job. The stability she had known was gone, and soon, a heavy cloud of depression settled over her. Each day felt like an uphill battle she was destined to lose. The silence in our apartment was deafening, filled only with whispers of failure and despair. In that deep valley, feeling completely isolated, Sarah did the only thing she felt she could do. She prayed, not eloquent prayers, but desperate, tear-filled cries for help. And God answered, not with a sudden miracle, but through the hands and hearts of her faith community. A friend from church called, just to check in. Another dropped off a warm meal. Slowly, these small acts of kindness chipped away at the loneliness. Her church group didn't just pray for her. They prayed with her, sat with her, and reminded her of her worth when she couldn't see it herself. They became the tangible love of God in her life. Through this unwavering support and her persistent prayer, a shift began to happen. A new opportunity arose, one she never would have considered before, but it was perfect. Today, Sarah isn't just employed again. She's thriving, filled with a renewed sense of purpose. Her story isn't about getting a job back. It is about finding hope when all was lost and discovering that God's family is a lifeline in the storm. Perhaps you or someone you know is facing a storm like Sarah's. Maybe it's a financial crisis, a health scare, or a profound sense of loneliness. Her journey is a powerful reminder, even when you can't see the way forward. Today is open. Keep believing, keep praying, and don't be afraid to lean on those God has placed around you. The sun will rise again. Now, let's turn to James. His story is one of breaking free from chains that held him captive for years. James struggled with addiction, a battle that stole his joy, his relationships, and his future. He was trapped in a cycle of shame and defeat, convinced he could never escape. He felt defined by his mistakes, unworthy of a second chance. But God had a different plan. One day, a friend took a leap of faith and invited James to church. Hesitant and filled with anxiety, James walked through those doors, expecting judgment. Instead, he found acceptance. He found a community of people who saw him not for his struggles, but for who he could become. He was paired with a mentor, an older man who had walked a similar path and understood his fight. His mentor didn't just give advice. He offered friendship, accountability, and genuine care. Week by week through worship, prayer, and the steadfast support of his new community, the chains began to loosen. It wasn't an overnight fix. It was a gradual process of healing, of replacing old habits with new hope. Today, James is not only free from addiction, but he has the one reaching out his hand to help others who are trapped where he once was. His life is a testament to the fact that no one is beyond redemption, and a new life can truly begin. These modern-day stories echo the timeless truths we find in the Bible. Think of Job. He lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health. Yet, in his immense suffering, his faith, though tested, endured. And what about Peter? He publicly denied Jesus, his closest friend, in a moment of fear. He was broken by his failure. But Jesus didn't discard him. He restored him and gave him a mission to build the church. Just like Job and Peter, our moments of brokenness don't have to be the end. They can be the very ground where our faith grows the strongest and where God's grace is most powerfully displayed. Our final story is about Anna, who is hit with a double blow, a life-changing medical diagnosis, and at the same time, deep fractures within her family. The fear of her health battle was compounded by the pain of broken relationships. It felt like her world was collapsing from the inside out. Doctors gave her a prognosis, but the emotional turmoil felt just as grim. In her exhaustion and desperation, Anna surrendered. She gave her fears about her health to God, and she began to pray earnestly for reconciliation in her family, even when it seemed impossible. She chose to forgive, to extend grace where there was bitterness, and to trust that God could mend what was broken. And then miracles began to unfold. Not only did her medical treatments start to show surprising and positive results, defying expectations, but her family also began to soften their hearts. Old wounds started to heal. Animosity was replaced by tearful apologies and heartfelt hugs. The family that was once torn apart was now praying together, supporting her through her health journey as a united front. Anna's story shows us that when we surrender our fears and pray for restoration, God can bring healing not just to our body, but to our relationships, turning division into a beautiful testimony of unity. Every one of these stories, Sarah's, James's, and Anas's, a turning point, a moment where they chose to look up, to trust in something bigger than their circumstances. With faith, even the darkest chapters of our lives can be rewritten into powerful testimonies of God's goodness. The Bible is filled with promises that confirm this. Romans 8:28 reminds us that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. And in Psalm 40, David declares, "He brought me up out of the pit of destruction. He set my feet upon a rock, making my footsteps firm." Your pit does not have to be your final destination. If you are watching this today and you're in need of hope, please know this. You are not alone. Your story is not over. The same God who met Sarah in her despair, who freed James from his chains, and who healed Anna's body and family is with you right now. Reach out to him in prayer. Connect with a local church or a trusted friend. Trust that your current struggle is not the end of your story. God is a master at turning trials into triumphs and messes into messages. Thank you for joining us on this journey of faith today. We hope these stories have encouraged and inspired you. If this video has touched your heart, please share it to spread that hope to someone else who might need it. And we'd love to hear from you. Your testimony could be the spark of hope that inspires someone else. Feel free to leave your story or a prayer in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that strengthens your faith. God bless you. And remember, your greatest testimony might be just around the corner.